double hat trick, I know the code too. Ice trade, go for trade, yeah, we cold too. Getting paper on these player haters, old news. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold you. Money on the other line, so I'm not gonna hold. My agent just said we made 100 flat. Make it back and make it stack, this like no Steven Jack. Put my rings up in the camera like I needed that. Up in the air and at the rim is where I meet them at.
What's going on, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to another episode of I'm Not Gonna Hold You. Today is the season finale, which means we will be without you, or you will be without us, whichever way you want to look at it, for the next 2 months. But yeah, man, we got a packed show for y'all, man. Of course, as usual, I'm your host, Scott Lewis. Of course, you can follow me at Barberchair Scott on all social media platforms. And this is my esteemed co-host, Mr. J.R. Bang. You can follow him at J.R. Bang on all social media platforms as well. While you're at it, subscribe to the Patreon, man. Patreon.com/Barberchair Network. That is where you can get all the content early and exclusive content as well. The link is in the description box. If you're too lazy to click on that, scan the QR code right here on the screen. It'll take you right to it. And of course, subscribe to my YouTube channel. We are up to 718 subscribers. Road to 1,000. This is where you need to be at all summer, because this is where I will be posting all summer. So if you just watch the show on HMB Media's YouTube, please subscribe if you haven't already. That link is in the description box, or you can scan the QR code right there. I will be uploading multiple videos a week during the summer and on all my socials as well, man. So stay in tune with that, man. But anyway, Bang, how you feeling?
Stressed.
Work stuff?
Oh man, fam. Bang. What you call me, fam, from Succession? Bang Whams.
I called you Bang Wamsgams.
Yeah, yeah, that's me. That's been me today. I'm tired, but you know what?
And then your camera went out. So I'm gonna talk while Bang gets his situation together. But anyway, shout out to everybody watching. Yeah, man, I'm feeling good. I'm tired as well. Been a busy couple days. So definitely looking forward to talking to you guys. Shout out to everybody who's been watching my new, I guess you want to call it, series on Instagram, Scott's Backyard Takes, where I give y'all any takes that's on my mind from my backyard. I'm going to be doing it all summer while it's warm enough for me to do that out there, man. So I don't know what happened to Bang, but I guess he's coming back on. But anyway, man. We're going to be talking about the NBA Finals, obviously. That crazy game 2 days ago. Game 5 is tomorrow. The New York Knicks will try to win their first NBA championship in 53 years. The last time they won a championship, I was 15 years away from being born. That's a long time. While the Spurs, as shameless as they are, and we will get to them, trust and believe, I have a lot of stuff to say about that basketball team if I haven't already said it. And I know I have. I'm just going to repeat myself for y'all who haven't heard it. They're going to try to stretch this series to a game 6 as well, man. So I think we got Bang back. Are we good to go?
Boy, that just let you know how my day been going.
That's happened to me before. It's all good.
Man. Yeah, but yeah, I can't wait for today's show, season finale. Gonna miss y'all for a little bit, but we gonna get to it. Classic episode on deck.
Definitely. You were talking about you were tired. I'm tired too. I have so I'm officially an uncle now. So when people joke and they call me Unc, I'm actually an uncle now. So shout out to my brother, shout out to his fiance. They had a healthy baby girl. I won't say the name and everything like that. I'll let them do all of that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
I
man.
saw it on social.
Yeah, on well, whatever he posted on his. I don't know if it was close friends or something, but yeah, man. So it's been a busy 2 days, man. But World Cup fever, man. Here in America, I've been locked in these last. Well, actually, since yesterday. That's when the first game came on. The first match came on.
Oh, it
Uh,
started.
yeah, it started
Oh,
yesterday.
no.
With 3 matches in. Team USA plays tonight against Paraguay. I think that's how you pronounce it. They will be at SoFi Stadium. So that should be a good match. But yesterday, I don't know what it was like by your house, but it was tornado warnings.
Oh, I live in Plainfield,
Yeah,
so
I didn't know what it was like over there though. If it was raining crazy or
oh,
not.
fam, I live in Plainfield. For those who might not know, I'm not from Plainfield. Let me first just say that
Yeah,
I'm
let's
not from
let's
Plainfield.
let's clarify that he's from out
Clarify
west.
that I am from out west Illinois. You know, I am an out west Illinoisan, but I currently live in Plainfield. And yo, what was this? In 1991, there was a huge tragedy out here in Plainfield. Where numerous people died after tornadoes hit the area and there was no alarm. Like the alarms and the sirens that you hear, it really the emphasis is what happened here. I think in 1990, 1991. So living out here, I'm always nervous about tornadoes and stuff. And boy, what was that? The day before yesterday, I walked to get the mail, and the alarm hit, and I was like, "Oh, it's really going down." And I'm talking about booms and sirens, and the crib was shaking and all of that stuff. The neighbors' stuff ended up in my patio and everything, and then yesterday was no exception. But seeing out west and out south was different, especially out south. Seeing big ass trees that looks like it's been here since the 1600s, uprooted the way that it was.
Yeah,
Whoa, that was
yeah.
different.
It was crazy on the south side. Like it was nuts. Like nothing happened to my house, thank God. It's like we had a protective field around up. It happened to a lot of people. I know a lot of people. Their powers out. There was lights out. Western was terrible. I mean, Western's terrible on a regular Tuesday, but Western was terrible. Lights were out. Trees were falling down. I was on 63rd, getting off the Dan Ryan, coming back from the hospital to see my niece, and it was, bro, nothing but lights out on 63rd. What's up? Shout out to everybody to chat watching. But yeah, man. And then yesterday we heard the tornado alarm, so I definitely spent about 45 minutes in the basement. And all I could think about was, man, South Korea about to play the Czech Republic in like 20 minutes. We need to wrap this thing up. That's what we need to get to. But it was bad, but nothing happened over here, man. But I had the first time. We got a couple topics before we get to the main rundown. Banger, you plan on watching any World Cup games?
Nah, I don't plan on it.
Because a lot of people who don't watch the sport, they'll just say, "Oh, I'm gonna watch it during the World Cup."
Yeah, nah, I don't plan on it. Like there's maybe. If it just so happened to pop up on the screen, I might check it out. Look, soccer, it's not about the scoring of soccer. Like I know some people be like, "Oh, you don't watch it because they don't." It be score be like 1-0. No, it's the activity. I don't want to just see people running around
See,
kicking
that's the
the ball.
thing. It looks like that to the naked eye. Like if you're just so what kind of hat is that? This is a Curie High School hat made by Pillars. So shout out to Pillars. They have a whole bunch of Chicago high school hats right now. I
Yeah.
was Curie High School class of 2007. So this is the Kiri Condor logo. Shout out to my old high school. So yeah, go to pillarsusa.com. They got all of their stuff on there. I mean, pretty much whatever. If you went to a Chicago public school or a school in the area, maybe you went to one of those private schools, but that were in the city, they got a hat for that school. So shout out to Mike, shout out to Dukes, shout out to everybody at Pillars. If you want a hat like this, or check out any other school's hat, or just their clothing in general, get in tune with them. They're the only people I would do plugs for. You know what I'm saying? They're only because those are my brothers. So, but shout out to them, man. And what's it called? I got this shirt off the internet for $15. Shout out to the GOAT, Thierry Henry, since this is World Cup season. But anyway, like I was saying, to the naked eye, it looks like nothing's going on. Because this time last year, when I was only watching, see, this is how much of a snob I've become. I don't like calling it soccer. I really don't. I call it football. Because if you look at it, you hitting it with a foot. Like, if you really think about our football, why is it called football? Outside of field goals, punts, you're never hitting the ball with your foot. But I digress. When you're just watching it, it looks like nothing's going on. For years, like, well, how can people watch this? But once you know what's happening, it's like watching the NFL, or once you know, like, the tactics or strategy behind it, is a million things going on. But I definitely understand where you're coming from, because I was there just a year and a half ago. So I definitely understand. As I said on a pod this week with the homie Tosin, this will be the first time watching the World Cup sober, because I used to go watch it with the homies and not knowing what's going on. But that's what I've been doing, man. But one thing that the World Cup has made very entertaining, I don't know if you've been following this dude on Twitter, or at least follow what's going on. I think his name is Freddie La 7. He's a German guy, and he's coming to America for the first time to watch the World Cup. And he's just traveling, and he's finding out every bit of American culture, and he's just loving it. Like, he went to Waffle House. He enjoyed that. He watched Messi. First of all, they had Messi playing at an SEC stadium. They had Argentina playing at Auburn, which is hilarious. And he was like, wow, Americans have fighter jets over the stadium before games. And it's like all of his tweets, he's just enjoying every simple American thing. He watched Game 4 of the NBA Finals at the Chili's, and he enjoyed it. I have been locked onto his page every day. Oh, where's he at now? He's in New Orleans. So I thought that was pretty funny. And even some of the players, I saw that, Lamine Yamal was at a Walmart in Chattanooga, Tennessee, just buying stuff, which was hilarious because they don't have that in Europe. Erling Haaland, who plays for Manchester City, he went to a hockey game and was like, oh, this is one of the greatest sports ever. It was funny, though, because he's from Norway, and that's like their prime sport, but he grew up in the UK. You know what I'm saying? So that's why I guess he's not too familiar with it. But the whole thing has just been funny to me, man. But and besides that, I wanted to ask a question before we get to the main stuff. As I was watching Game 4 of the NBA Finals, hate watching the Knicks, because I'm not part of this, oh, I just want the Knicks to do well thing that everybody doing right now. And you know what's funny? I don't have a logical reason to dislike the Knicks, because I'm a Bulls fan and they have never beaten us in anything of substance. So I really have no reason to dislike the Knicks. I just have a lot of New York friends, and New Yorkers are already loud to begin with. This is going to make them 30 times worse. But I was watching in the hospital, and I saw the comeback coming. I told everybody, because I think people were walking past me. Now, Bang has seen me watch sporting events. Yeah. Imagine me in the waiting room with my phone set up on a table, and I'm reacting. And this is not even one of my teams playing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm just like, oh, I could just see the idiotic stuff coming. And it made me think, when was your first hate watch? Can you ever remember your first hate watch? I had to sit and think about when my first hate watch was. And I remember my first hate watch was 2003 NLCS, Cubs, Marlins. The Bartman series, for those of you who don't remember. That was my first hate watch. That was. And obviously, as a White Sox fan, it was an enjoyable hate watch because of how it ended. But that is when I first had my first hate watch.
Damn. I would say that my first hate, thinking about it, my first hate watch might have been the Denver Broncos versus Green Bay Packers Super Bowl.
Oh yeah. See, I wasn't watching football yet at that age.
That might have been the one because I did not want Green Bay to beat the Patriots because I already knew what it was going to be. But I was not really a John Elway fan, but I definitely was.
I don't like Elway either.
Yeah, I was not a John Elway fan, but I rather him win than Brett Favre.
And Brett
Two
Favre,
in a row? Oh my God, like two? Like nah, that would have been so disappointing. So I remember that last drive because that last drive, Brett Favre had threw a couple of screen passes. I want to say it was to Dorsey Levens or Ahmad Green, one of them, and I was like, yo, they about to get close enough to be in striking distance, and they end up losing the game. And I was like, oh man, thank you. That might have been the first one. However, I think the most impactful hate watch that just didn't go well was when Aaron Rodgers won the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah,
because
that one did not go well.
Right, because while that might have been the first, I don't think I truly was like, yo, I hate Green Bay at that time. I just didn't want them to win. But I was for a while an undercover Pittsburgh Steelers fan.
Honestly, I think every black person was. I love Pittsburgh until I found out Ben be taking it. That's
So seeing the Pittsburgh Steelers out there, it's like, yo, ain't no way in hell I'm going for Green Bay. And I hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate how he got here. Yeah. Not just I hate Aaron Rodgers. I hate how he got here.
Because we let him there twice.
Because a Chicago Bears versus Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl would have been, oh, man, that's great. So I hate how he got there. And then to see him win, it was like, oh, no.
Yeah, you know what's funny? I hate Aaron Rodgers more than I hate the Green Bay Packers.
Exactly, yes.
Like, during the Favre era, I disliked Green Bay. My unadulterated hate didn't come until 12 got there. And he started playing, which was 4 years after he got drafted. And that's when I just started hating him. To the point now, I can't even look at the Green Bay Packers logo. It makes me want to throw up. Like, I hate them. I would wear a MAGA hat before I wear a Packers jersey. Like, I'm dead serious. Like, I am serious as a heart attack. I am not playing. I would. I don't know if you've seen that joke of Dave Chappelle when he was talking about Kramer's saying the N-word. And he was like, he said, yeah, I'm mostly black, but I'm also half comedian.
Yeah.
And the comedian man was like, that nigga had a bad set. Like, yeah, I'm mainly black, but I'm also half Bears fan. So I'm just like, yeah, man, I'm not wearing no Packers jersey. If somebody put a gun in my head, was like, here's an Aaron Rodgers jersey, here's a MAGA hat, which one are you going to wear? I'm putting the red joint on. I'm sorry. Yeah. I'm just saying. It's just not going to happen.
Ain't no way in hell I would wear anything. Like, I had on green and gold one time and was like, yo, what the hell I'm thinking?
I really try not to put cheese on my food during football season. I'm very serious.
Yeah,
I try.
Yeah, I'm with you. I hate Green Bay.
Yeah,
but I hate Aaron Rodgers.
A good hate watch sometimes can feel almost as good as your team winning. Sometimes. Not all the time, but sometimes. Anyway, let's get into the rundown, man. Unfortunately, we got to start it on a somber note, but I feel like we couldn't get through this show without showing some love to this person. Beginning of the week, three-time NBA champion, greatest announcer in Bulls history, in my opinion, Mr. Stacey King, passed away this week. Hasn't been an official cause of death. I've heard things, but it's not my business to put that information out there. Um, anything like that, and I think Bang accidentally muted me,
Yes, I
and
did.
so I'm. but uh, pretty much, man, he died this week, and this was, man, it was crushing, bro. To be completely honest, like I was just on Instagram, and I refreshed the timeline, and I saw, you know how you see the black picture of somebody, like the obituary picture, kind of, and I didn't even get a chance to scroll down to read it. And instantly I was like, nah, don't tell me Stacey King died. And then I scrolled and you saw the date of birth and the final date. I was like, damn. And I think, man, we got to give Stacey a lot of love, man. And I think that obviously, if you're an older Bull fan, you remember Johnny Red Kerr, Norm Van Leer, all those guys in the dynasty years. Even Neil Funk. Neil Funk, I think was he TV or radio at the time when they were winning championships? It was one of the two. But Stacey was the voice, I believe, for Bulls fans who are under the age of 35. That's exactly what that is. Um, I don't know. So what's that bear say you just sent me? Because I ain't got Twitter on my phone.
No, okay. So I was laughing. I was trying to mute so it wouldn't go over the air. But I guess the whoever this is, I think she's like she works for Cook County, or whatever. She is. Hold on, let me pull it up again. She is the Cook County clerk. She's the clerk of Cook County. What's her name? Monica Gordon. So she had the open letter in the background, and she was like, "Oh, I hear that the Bears are going to Indiana. Matter of fact, let me just go ask them." And then it popped up with her and Kevin Warren, in the same outfit. She's like, "Yo, are we going?" He was like, "Where? What for dinner?" And everybody started laughing. So it's basically just them saying like, "Yeah, this shit ain't over with yet." But it was actually a funny video to do all of that instead of people just doing
What I
all that
want to
extra
say, I
shit.
can't say. So I'm gonna go back to my Stacey King love real quick. But yeah, man, for him, I feel like if you're somebody who wasn't of age, or like the last championship the Bulls won, I was 9, but I was gonna be 10 in like 4 months. So we can round up and say I was 10.
Say, ooh,
But my era that I remember every day is the D Rose era
bless
and
you.
things like that. And Stacey King was the voice of the post Jordan Bulls. And he became the only reason to watch the Bulls post D Rose era, man. So I just want to give love to him, his family and friends, and just send them up in prayer, man, because it's definitely something very tragic. Anything you want to say on Stacey before we move on?
So real quick, I used to work at Best Buy in North Riverside. Shouts out to Best Buy 320. And I remember when I first started working there, in 2002. It was a random conversation that we was having, and they was like, "Yeah, the only celebrity that comes up in here is Johnny Red Kerr." So I was like, "Wait a minute, what?" Like, yeah, Johnny Red Kerr be coming up here to shop. So apparently Johnny Red Kerr lived in like North Riverside, in the North Riverside area. Which when I looked at the report, Stacey King lived in the River Forest area. So he was, shouts out to the west suburbs. So I remember seeing Johnny Red Kerr come up in there for the first time, and I was like, yo, that is Johnny Red Kerr. And he used to come in there all the time, Jack. He used to come up in there all the time. And I remember when he died, literally the first thing that I thought of was, damn, he ain't gonna be coming up in Best Buy no more. But outside of that, Johnny Red Kerr was the soundtrack of the Bulls championship run. And anything that you hear from Bulls TV is from Johnny Red Kerr and Wayne Larrivee. So when Stacey King died, first thing I thought about was That was the voice of Derrick Rose's era. The last great era that we had, not long, but the last great era we had in Chicago. But he also was that sportscaster, that color guy that got us through the terrible times. He was very entertaining, win or lose, which reminded me of Harry Carey. But at least he got to see some. Well, Harry Carey got some successes too, 84, 88, you know, but
He wasn't there for 2016.
he wasn't there for 2016. So it made me look at local TV differently because we're not talking about a national figure. Like we're not talking about Matt Gukas or Mike Fratello. We're not talking about like the Doug Collins,
Mike Breen.
Mike Breen. We're talking about local here. I remember when Ron Santo died and how the Cubs were hurt with Ron Santo dying, but that was a voice you were not going to hear on the radio no more. And the difference between Johnny Red Kerr and Stacey King is Johnny Red Kerr was retired. Stacey not only was not retired, he was in the prime of his broadcasting career and is cut short. And it made me look at local television and how important it is to sports and to the city. No diss to Chicago's CHSN, but you got to pay for that now. It's not free. You got to pay for that. You have to pay for that experience that years ago we got with Stacey and we got with Johnny Red Kerr and we got with others. It's like, damn, that sucks. We got to pay for this. So honestly, it made me think of local sports television and how it's not free and you have to pay to see people that are the voice really of a generation. And for this generation of Hoopers, or at least that Derrick Rose generation, he was the voice. I don't want to put any pressure on who replaces him, but that's a lot. One. And two, does that person know the importance of local TV and what we do here?
And I think, and Stacey had to deal with that pressure coming off of Johnny Red Kerr.
Yeah.
I remember Stacey's first game. And it took a while before he was able to get in his own bag and get his own catchphrases and stuff like that. And, I know it's going to be tough for any Bulls fan who watches a lot of games and, to hear a different voice. And I know it's going to be tough for Adam Amin, man. Definitely want to send out love to Adam Amin. That was his partner, what I'm saying, for the last, I don't know how many years, 5, 6 years probably now to this point. And so I know it's going to be tough for him, man. And you have a good point about local TV. And obviously, that's just not a Chicago thing. To watch the Yankees, you have to pay a fee in New York. To watch the Cubs now, you got to pay for marquee. Like, everything is so the streaming era. You got to pay for everything. And even if you're not paying for something, they're cracking down on password sharing. Yeah. I texted my brother 3 times today about the HBO Max password because they want you to update your households. You know what I'm saying? Like, so, and then I think with this particular passing, you saw a lot of love from people who aren't Chicago Bulls fans because of NBA League Pass. If you not from Chicago, you're not a Bulls fan, you maybe want to watch a Bulls game. You know who Stacey King is. You know the catchphrases. So that's quick, a good balance on that too. When you got the good thing that it brings, I guess.
Real quick, I had asked Gene, shouts out to Gene, the Bigs. I had asked him, why is it so many Chicago Cubs fans? I never asked that question before.
WGN.
And WGN. I did not realize or know at the time that I asked them this question that WGN was seen all over. Like they were a superstation like TBS. And the reason why you have so many Chicago Cubs fans is because of the superstation and people being able to see Chicago Cubs from different cities. But that's also why Harry Carey was so beloved, because when you're watching WGN, you're watching Harry Carey and you're watching the lovable losers, but you're watching a team who's losing consistently, but you're listening to the most the most hilarious, funny, cool as hell color commentary that you're gonna get in not your city. And that's why Harry Carey became a national figure. That was Stacey King. To hear him on Sports Center when there's a Derrick Rose highlight, the Get Home Safely, the Elizabeth joints, you know what I'm saying, and all of the other things, Jimmy Buckets. He gave Jimmy Buckets
Yeah,
his
he
name
coined
before,
that
like
nickname.
he
Too
coined
big,
that
too
nickname.
fast, too strong.
Right.
The Dragic dunk call.
Yeah, he gave Jimmy Butler his nickname before Jimmy Butler was getting buckets, and then it became Jimmy G Buckets. The G stands for gets. We gonna miss that, but damn, it just shows to me the importance of local sports being on affordable television. But to know that there were people paying $20 to see Stacey King because the team is terrible is, yeah. And somebody can't spell nigger. They forgot the I.
This is hilarious. Ready Ngger. You forgot an I there, pal.
He forgot an I there,
Anyway.
fam. But
But yeah, man. So R.I.P. Stacey King. Prayers out to his family and friends. You will never be forgotten, man. Let's move on to another Reinsdorf owned team. Hopefully it won't be Reinsdorf owned for too long. Chicago White Sox. Now, I said on this platform years ago when I started my Chicago White Sox boycott, which has been going on for 3.5 years, that 2 of 3 things had to happen for me to lift my boycott. Chris Getz had to prove to me that he knew what he was doing, building a new infrastructure with young talent and being able to actually facilitate a rebuild. The other one was Jerry Reinsdorf selling the team. And I think the third one was proving that they'll actually spend money in free agency and making big time trades. Now, the third one is still yet to be seen. But 2 of my 3 terms have been agreed to. That is in paper that there is a succession plan
okay.
for Jerry Reinsdorf to give. Obviously, we know Justin Ishba is waiting in the wings to be the new Chicago White Sox head coach. And as of today, Friday, June 12th, the Chicago White Sox are in first place. They have called up 12 prospects, and majority of them have been making big moves. Colson Montgomery obviously has been good since he got here. I forgot Mooney. I forgot to pronounce his last name. But they've got a fun young squad. They beat the Atlanta Braves, who were the number 1 team in Major League Baseball by record. And I say by record because anybody with eyes know the Los Angeles Dodgers are still the best team in Major League Baseball. And by the way, they're playing the White Sox tonight. Thankfully for the White Sox, Shohei Ohtani has a knee problem and won't be hitting bombs over the Dan Ryan all weekend. Okay. But also, unfortunately, you still have Mookie Betts to worry about and Freddie Freeman and everybody else. But I say all that to say this. I am lifting my White Sox boycott.
Oh.
We are agreeing to new fan terms. Now, I'm not putting too much dip on my chip yet. As I told my boy Lotto this morning, there's still a lot to be proven. You know what it's like? It's like when you break up with your girl for a while, and then y'all get back together, but you ain't just immediately jumping back to fully 2 feet in the water yet. You know what I'm saying? Like, we talking right now. That's what that is. You know what I'm saying? So I see progression in it. Now, they've got a tough rest of the month. You still got the trade deadline coming up, and the White Sox still have to prove to me and every other White Sox fan that when there's an opportunity to get a proven player, either via trade or free agency, that they will spend the money to get said player, which they've never done. They've never done it. Even when they won the World Series, they didn't do it. The highest contract that they have given out in their almost 150 years of being a baseball team is $75 million to Andrew Benintendi, who is having a record terrible season right now. So that is still yet to be proven. But I'm seeing these young guys play. You know, I've been box score watching. I have still yet to watch a full White Sox game front to back since September 2022.
God damn.
So this is not. I don't know. A lot of people thought I was BSing. Like, no, this was a legit boycott.
Oh yeah, you legit.
This was almost a presidential term. You know what I'm saying? And this is not just the White Sox. This is their West Side cousin, the Bulls. I'm gonna get to them in just a second. I have been boycotting both Reinsdorf teams. And honestly, bro, it's pained me, okay? I love these two teams. They won the World Series on my 17th birthday. I have an autographed Frank Thomas glove. You can see right here. This is an official lineup card from Game 4 of the World Series. Not Game 4. This is it's Game 1. Game 1 of the World Series 2005. I love this team. But what I do not love is negligence. It was never about wins and losses. That's why I think a lot of people get it twisted. People was texting me after the Cubs series. Oh, they're winning. It's not about winning. I'm a Bears fan. I can deal with losing. Where's the plan? And I didn't feel there was a plan. I feel there's a plan now. And so that's why tonight will be my first White Sox game that I am watching front to back since September 2022.
You got the free.
I signed up for the free 7-day trial, and we're gonna see where this goes. Now, as far as their West Side cousins, they've still. Now, here's the thing: a lot of people don't know this, and then we'll move on to the NBA Finals. The Bulls are my first love. Yes, I am a diehard Bears fan. Obviously, I love the Bears more than some family members, but the Bulls are my first love. The first ever sporting event that I remember watching in my life. 8-year-old Scott was watching Michael Jordan in Game 6 of the 1996 NBA Finals. Now, my parents told me I used to watch sports with my grandfather, but he died when I was 2, so I don't remember any of that. But I remember watching Michael Jordan. Yeah, I remember watching Michael Jordan in 1996. So the Bulls were my first love. The Bulls made me think that winning was just supposed to happen.
Yeah.
I went to 3 straight parades as a kid. And then Mike retired, and I was quickly brought down to earth that this just doesn't happen like that. And I learned the hard way. So with the Bulls, they have an opportunity here to lift their boycott. Because unfortunately for the Bulls, the Reinsdorfs are never selling that team. The White Sox aren't a cash cow. The Chicago Bulls are a cash cow. 100%. So I'm just hoping that Michael Reinsdorf allows the basketball people to do basketball things. Because you can still have a bad owner and be good. Look at the New York Knicks. James Dolan is a terrible owner, but he lets the basketball people do the basketball things. Now, what Joe Cowley said about the Bulls, he never says anything good about the Bulls, is that Michael Reinsdorf has never said no to a price. AK and Eversley just never brought a big deal to him. This is what he said. So we'll see. They've got the 4th pick. They got the 15th pick, and I heard they're trying to trade up from the 15th pick.
Yeah, that's the rule.
And they've got a lot of cap space, and they're getting ready to hire a coach. So that
young
one,
capital.
Yeah, that's pending. And as you can see, man, we about to talk about this with the NBA. You said it for last year too. Real GMing is winning championships.
Let's go, man. Let's go.
We're gonna move on to the NBA Finals now. But White Sox, the boycott is over. So anyway.
Okay. So it's funny. I never really boycotted the White Sox. It's just I boycotted paying for looking at local teams. That's what I'm boycotting. I am boycotting.
That is a very fair boycott.
Yeah, I am strong on that boycott, which has hurt my sports fandom. But I'm like, yo, why am I paying a dub every month to look
For
at
bad team.
to look at bad teams.
Yeah.
Right. That grinds my gears. But I also said on this platform and on some dude that I believe that the Chicago Bulls the are the least respected franchise right now in Chicago. It is at the dumps. And when I had said that, you was like, but what about
I
the
don't
White
know. It
Sox?
might the Chicago Sky. They're terrible. That is a
But I don't
terrible
count
organization.
I don't really count them.
Okay, so you mean out of the major
Yeah,
teams?
out of the major
Okay, I
joints.
got you.
But if we were to count everybody, the Chicago Sky is the worst probably in sports.
Yeah, but out of the major
But out of the
teams,
major teams,
it's
it
the
is
Bulls.
the Bulls, the most irrelevant franchise. Because even still, like the sky is not irrelevant. They just terrible. But they got a number of people on there that make them relevant,
The
right?
Blackhawks are terrible too, but they're the Lamborghini in the hood meme because of Conor Bedard.
Exactly. So that's what I think about the Chicago Bulls. But I remember when I said that, you had said, "What about the White Sox?" And I was like, "Nope," because the White Sox look like they got a plan, and they're gonna have the number one pick. So you got a
Oh yeah, I
plan,
forgot about that.
like you
Yeah,
got a plan and the number one pick.
yeah.
Now, did we expect the plan to start moving at the pace that it
This
moved
fast?
this
Absolutely
fast?
not.
Hell no.
They're
That
better
team.
than the Cubs right now.
Not only are they better than the Cubs, oh my God, they're fun to watch even when
They're
they lose.
entertaining watch.
They
Yeah,
are entertaining watch even if they're losing. It's just the energy, and not only is it an energy, it's a young energy because now Braden Montgomery is now the 12th player that's been called up by this organization. So they have a lot of young energy where they hope to grow within this team and being able to spread that for years to come inside of with an organization that surely needs it. And then imagine this team really in its prime by the time we get to the 2030s and we get to a situation where we're in a new stadium. The Bulls, on the other hand, they still got some work to do, y'all. They still got some work to do. And not to add this to it, but quite honestly, what has happened in the past couple of days don't help because it puts a black cloud over the
you talking about the Knicks
organization.
stuff?
Nah, I'm talking about the Stacey King joint. It's like
Oh
now
yeah,
you
yeah,
now
yeah.
you now you got to look at TV, and
Yeah.
this is literally no diss to any of these guys. But what's entertaining about some of the people that could potentially replace them? It's not. Sorry. I'm I'm sorry. Is some of the names I won't throw some of the names out there, but some of the names that I've seen as potential replacements by fans having conversations, it's not entertaining at all. So the most entertaining piece of your organization is no longer there. You got Josh Giddey, who might be a great trade piece with a great contract to trade. You got Matas, no Hinsdale folks that's out there that's cool with Caleb and everything. But when you look at him, PCA and Caleb, like he's the third man on the totem pole and stuff right
Yeah.
there.
I mean, PC ain't that far ahead of them, but yeah.
But he a little bit more, hey, but he a little bit more
PCA the most gassed athlete in this city, and
hey,
I'm not
hey,
just saying that because he's a Cub.
hey, I'll take the gas than what I'm getting from Matas right now.
I was about to say, I trade Montes if I got the right deal.
I mean, dun, 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 like that's where I was going. Then I mean, you got a whole bunch of guards on this team, but you do got the fourth and the 15th pick. They're trying to trade ahead. You're looking at Tiago Splitter or Michael Nori. It seems like it's the top two candidates for Ryan
So where's
Smith from
Michael
the.
Nori from? Like,
He
where's
is the
team?
assistant coach for the currently assistant coach for the Minnesota Timberwolves.
Okay,
He's coached in many organizations over
he
the
black, white,
years. He's white,
he white. Okay,
like European
got you.
white.
I just don't want Wes Unseld Jr.
I
No
don't want him
disrespect to
in.
that black man. Keep him far away
And
from
don't
Madison Avenue.
hey, your daddy was the king of the Washington Wizards slash Bullets in the 1970s. He was the first player to win. I think he was the first player to win Rookie of the Year and MVP. He won
Damn.
MVP of the MVP of the NBA Finals in 1979 when the Washington Bullets won the championship. He was either 78 or 79. Yeah, they fired you from that organization because you used to work for that organization. No, I'm straight. I want Tiago Splitter or Micah Nori. And actually, I wanted Micah Nori after reading. I really wanted him in the first place. Say all that to say this. That's still not going to make this organization relevant.
They
who's
got
going
a
to make them into winning.
lot
And
of
they
work
got
to
a
do.
lot of work to do, fam. I mean,
Yeah,
when I tell you they have a lot of work to do, we still don't know. Yeah, it's real GM hours, but we still don't know what this new GM is really going to come in
yeah.
and
And
do.
then two, if you want to compare it to the White Sox, the one thing the White Sox had was they had players from the past rebuild who you could trade.
Mm-hmm.
Garrett Crochet, you know what I'm saying? Andrew Vaughn, and the other players. They got like Bray Montgomery is the crown jewel of the Garrett Crochet trade.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Who can you trade on this team that you're going to get a decent amount for?
Not a nan person.
Exactly.
Not a nan person. So they have a lot of work to do. The cupboard is damn near bare. You might have to get rid of a young player in Matas who's from here in order to get a piece. Josh Giddey might be out too. If you're trying to move from 15 to let's just say 6, 5, 6, 7, you're going to have to give up some pieces. And it looks like it looks like Darius Acuff is somebody, or Wagner, one of those two are two people that they covet. The question is I ain't really seen nothing with the Bulls and Caleb Wilson, which is very interesting to me,
I
which
haven't
is everybody
seen
has won.
one connection, and I'm kind of upset about that.
Yeah, I'm sitting there looking like, yo, do they really? Because every mock draft says Caleb Wilson at
Yeah.
4, but when you look at who they brought in to work out, it's a whole bunch of guards. I would
Yeah.
not be surprised that
I,
when the draft happens, it's a surprise.
it went nothing about the Bulls was surprised me. I just want to get that out there. Number one, I just want to say to Bulls fans, it's gonna be a long road. It's gonna be a long road. It's gonna take a minute, and I know. I really feel bad for like. No matter what happens with the Bulls for the rest of my life, I was able to catch the tail end of the Jordan dynasty. So even if I never see them win again, I have those childhood memories. I was talking to our guy Nikhil, and Nikhil made me feel like I'm 40 sometimes, even though I'm not that far away from him. Now I think about it. But anyway, and I was explaining to him about watching Jordan. It was like explaining Bigfoot to him. Like, yeah, he was as good as they said.
Oh man, he was
And
man.
and that's why I feel like a lot of younger fans, like my personal take, we gonna finally move on to the NBA Finals. I don't love that 2011 Derrick Rose thing as much as other Bulls fans do. Because you know why I don't? I look at it as a missed opportunity. That's what stands out to me about that era more than anything. As fun as it was to watch, it was a missed opportunity. Obviously, because of Derrick's injuries, he can't do anything about his body. It is what it is. But even before the injuries, look at how they tried to build around Derrick. Keith Bogans was a starting 2 guard. You losing 5 games to the Heatles. You know what you say that summer? Let's go get washed Rip Hamilton.
Yeah.
Yeah, that'll take us over the edge. It's just stupid stuff. So, White Sox are promising. Bulls still have a long way to go. And I will say this one last thing about the White Sox. And everybody keeps talking about, division race. They got the second out of the 3 wild card races. Playoffs does not really matter this year. I just want to stretch that. The development of these young players is the number one thing. If you can come out of this season and you can say you got at least your core 3 to 4, successful season. If you make the playoffs, it's a cherry on top.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't want this, even though they've been playing very well. I've been watching baseball for almost 30 years. The season don't start till August. And honestly, even if you're within 5 games and on September 1st, you got a shot. So there's just so much more baseball we play. They play the Dodgers this weekend. Then they go to New York to play the Yankees. And we historically don't play well in Yankee Stadium, whether it's new Yankee Stadium or old Yankee Stadium, even though the new Yankee Stadium is now old because that was 2008. But in either Yankee Stadium, they didn't play well. Then you got 3 straight series against your division. So there's a lot more baseball to be played, but I like what I'm seeing. Anyway, let's go to the NBA Finals, man. Game 5 of the NBA Finals kicks off tomorrow night in San Antonio. The San Antonio Spurs are down 3-1. They had a 29-point lead. Mid-third quarter, just 48 hours ago. Now, Bang, you originally picked the Knicks in this series. You and Pat picked the Knicks when we did our preview. I picked the Spurs in 6. Obviously, that cannot happen. If the Spurs do become the second team in NBA Finals history to come back from 3-1, they got to win it in 7. There was no part of me on Wednesday that thought the Spurs were winning that game. No part of me. I don't know what it was. I didn't care if that lead was 30-40. I just did not. You know what the turning point of that game was? When Wemby elbowed Cat, when they were up 29, and it was a flagrant one. They had 2 shots in possession. Cat hit both free throws. Jalen Brunson hit a 3. Boom. That's a 6-point play. And then they started doing stupid stuff. Like I said, I've been watching basketball. I know I keep saying I've been watching stuff for 30 years, but I've been watching basketball for 30 years. I have never seen a performance as stupid as what I witnessed Wednesday night. I understand we're in a new era of basketball where people shoot threes. I've made peace with that. I understand. I hate it, but I understand. But they weren't even taking good threes. It was dumb threes. And Wembanyama, as talented as you are, as generational as you are, you got a lot to learn, my boy. You are 10 feet tall. Put ball in basket. There's no reason you should be doing light tap-ins and trying to do super layups. Dunk the ball. Stop thinking you Kevin Durant shoot for a 3-point line. It was just like, I was like, if they can make this a 15-point game by the fourth quarter, they're going to lose this game. And they cut it down even less than that by the fourth quarter. And this is just one of those things where, as bad as the Spurs were, and De'Aaron Fox, I've said all season that they were going to sacrifice you to give Dylan Harper more minutes. Brother, that time is coming early. I didn't know they were paying him $220 million. I must have missed it when they gave him an extension. I understand the market. It's not about the player. It's about the market. But good Lord, that is way too much for De'Aaron Fox. He has been point shaving all series. When they missed that shot, the Knicks, and they got the rebound, the Spurs got the rebound with 15 seconds left, and this idiot decided to go to the basket. Let them foul you. Shoot your free throws. Make them shoot a 3. It was just idiotic. It made no sense. They were giving up offensive rebounds. And, I don't want to sit up here and not give the Knicks credit because you still got to make those shots and come back. But good Lord, the Spurs gave that game to them. It was like, hey, we don't want it. We don't want it. In every game of this finals, the Spurs have had a double-digit lead. In all 4 games, they have blown it. So I don't care if they're up 50 tomorrow. They going to know it's not over, and the Knicks going to know it's not over. And that's the problem. And for everybody sitting up here saying, oh, they're young, they'll be back. We said that about the Boston Celtics 2 years ago. We said that about the Milwaukee Bucks when they won 5 years ago.
They said that about the Nuggets. Thunder.
They said that about the Thunder just last year.
Not only did we say it about the Thunder last year, we said it about the Thunder when they lost to the Miami Heat.
Yeah.
We thought that team would be back. That
oh,
team
yeah,
got
2012. This is a new era of the NBA. The 70s are back. We finna be having random champions every year. If somebody does repeat, it's going to be looked at as a three-peat. Because a three-peat ain't never happening again. It's already been 24 years since the last one. It's not ever happening again. So I do believe the Spurs will win tomorrow in one of those fake, we got to protect home court type games. But not only are they going to lose game 6 on Tuesday, they're getting washed. They're going to get beat through Earth's crust. And I don't know if you've seen New York got the game 4. There might not be a New York City when that final buzzer goes off.
Oh, man.
It's going to be insane. And I don't think that it is a hot take to say this will be the most important sports championship in America since the 2016 Cubs. It is that influential. Like, I think my dad was 15 the last time the Knicks won the championship. That's how long it's been. So, what are your thoughts on what we saw in Game 4?
So I'm talking about literally when they went up 29. I said, damn. But then I told my wife, I said, this game ain't over. Matter of fact, hey, Nick's still gonna win. I'm going to go to sleep. Wake me up before the game is over with. So she did not wake me up. I woke up and it was 30 seconds left. And
You woke up right at the end.
like right at the end. And then she was like, wait a minute. Yeah. I mean, I was like, wait a minute. Oh, so they actually did come back. She was like, yeah. And they look like they're about to win. Like, I didn't, it's messed up what I'm about to say because I probably went to sleep on one of the greatest sports games of all time. But I didn't want to see that
Oh, you
shit.
did. Oh, you
But here's the
did.
thing I didn't want to see that shit. I didn't want to see that train wreck because I knew what was going to happen.
Bro, it was
I
it was
knew it was going to happen. And you
infuriating.
want to know why I knew what was going to happen? I didn't go to sleep right when it was 29 game 20. I didn't go to sleep right when they was up by 29. After they went up by 29, they shot 5 consecutive threes before I went to sleep. It's like they
That
was
was probably in the stretch or where they missed 8 straight.
yeah, that it was. It turned out it was. But I'm like, why is they shooting threes? What is the point? What are we doing? I, After that fifth one, I was like, man, I don't even want to see this. Like, I don't really want to see it. It was a game that upset me because of two things: analytics and arrogance. Those two A's right
Bro,
there.
Chris Webber said the best on Eisen. That's the most arrogant basketball game I've ever seen in my
Yeah,
life.
and let me start with the arrogance part. There was no point of you doing that. So I really felt like they believed that New York, in New York, was going to give up and say we'll fight in game 5. Now I pause there because Scott, what I have said for the last 3 years of us talking basketball, especially on this show here, is that what kills me is when teams get up big and then the other team just stop playing. We'll just wait till the next game.
Yeah. The Knicks
I,
don't do that.
not only does the Knicks not do that, the arrogance of the San Antonio Spurs to think that the New York Knicks was going to do that, and out of all places, New York during the NBA Finals was pure arrogance. I really think that when they got up by 29, the San Antonio Spurs was like, up, they give up. We going back to San Antonio. The analytics. Oh, if we just continuously shoot threes and we hit it, we're going to go up a little bit more. Fam, I'm gonna say the same thing that I said on this show last week and on Summer Sessions. Wemby has to stop playing like he's a 6'7" guard. I'm not saying that he needs to be up in the post and act like he's Patrick Ewing or Ben Wallace or anybody, but he does not maximize his movement.
He need a he need a move. Like we always talk about Giannis don't have a bag, but at least Giannis' bag is being a running back and knocking
Yeah,
dudes over to get to the basket.
Wemby plays too much like a 6'7" guard, getting the ball at the top of the key, trying to cross somebody over. And you was doing that up by 29 because you thought you could just get up into your celebratory bag and try to embarrass somebody. No, fam. Take your ass on the corner and move from there. Hit that damn box. And just get your mid-range on at this point. Get your pick and roll on. Stop trying to be Paul George and be a seven
That
foot.
was a Paul George
Yeah,
performance.
he plays like Paul George. If Paul George was 7'7", because I don't want nobody to tell me that this boy is anything more than 7'4",
And
because
stop
that
saying he played like KD. Stop disrespecting KD
yeah,
like
he's
that.
not playing like KD. Because you know what KD would have did?
Go to the basket.
KD
Post
would have
up.
took it. Thank you. KD would have took his ass to the basket. KD midi game would have taken over at that
Yeah.
point. He would have not been just going to the 3-point line and shooting. No, you're playing some Paul George shit. And for that, that's why they lost. because the analytics of today's game makes it look like the three is the most important and the easiest shot to make. When in fact, if you're 7'7", take your ass in that box and shoot the midi if you don't want to body up with somebody like Cat and be beaten up. He does not maximize his movements. Go watch a tape of Antoine Jameson and see how this nigga be having the ball in his hand for less than 2 minutes and still get his joints off. And for anybody that want to talk shit about Antoine Jameson, go look at how many points that Antoine Jameson has scored in his NBA career.
Go back and watch Warriors, early Wizards, Antoine Jameson.
Right. Go look at how many points that Antoine Jameson has scored in his career before anybody look at this tape and be like, oh man, why is he talking about Antoine Jameson? Fam, Wemby, you don't need the ball in your hand that long. Go get a move. Go learn how to do the sky hook. Get your midi game on. Can't nobody block that. Can't nobody
As we've
block
seen,
that midi game in the
nobody
post.
can. Nobody gets even close to affecting your shot.
But you want to be Paul George and take somebody up at the top of the key and try to cross somebody over like it's an and one mixtape. And that's what I mean by maximizing your movement. And understand that you are over 7'4" tall. You ain't got to go body nobody up. But use that post if you want to play like Kevin Durant and stop acting like you 6'9". And that is one of the main reasons why they are in the trick bag that they in. Because if that man was playing like his size is, pause, they would not be in this situation. They would actually be dominating the other side of the ball.
They would be up 3-1.
Not only would they be up 3-1, now this is when I understand Kenny Atkinson was like, yo, analytically, y'all should be winning this series. But y'all are playing dumb basketball. And De'Aaron Fox, he should know better. He should know better. But I don't even put that game squarely on his shoulders. I put it on Wemby, fam. Because Wemby is 7'4" plus. And he's playing like he's a wing. No. Go dominate that post. And that don't mean you got to body somebody up. Use that mid-range game that nobody can block. If anything, go watch a Tim Duncan tape. Go watch.
And he has no excuse. He got easy access to Tim Duncan and David Robinson whenever he wants. He said it himself. He sees them all the time. Stop spending time with monks and just spend a summer with Tim Duncan. Like that. That's just really what he needs to do. And the thing about De'Aaron Fox, if anybody knows how to guard De'Aaron Fox, it's Mike Brown. Remember, Mike Brown got fired for benching De'Aaron Fox. And so all this is coming. I want to close this thing on the Spurs, and I want to give the Knicks some love. Orlando put it in the chat here, man. He said, not going to lie, Buddy should be fired. This series is over. Look, I am so glad there was not a white coach on the opposing side because I did not want to go in on this black man. But that was the worst coach performance I've ever seen in my life. And that is terrible because Tim Floyd and Jim Boylan used to coach my basketball team. And this is worse than anything that those two have ever done. It was just terrible. I don't even know why he was calling timeouts. He wasn't doing nothing. And I am not overreacting when I say this. That is a fireable offense. It's a fireable offense. Yeah. Now it was just ridiculous, but I have to give love to the Knicks.
If Greg Popovich didn't love that kid so much, he'd be fired. But Greg Popovich loved him.
Yes, 100%. But I just got to give love to the Knicks. Sometimes, man, you just got to chalk it up and stay here. See, there's just certain moments that happen in every championship season, no matter the sport. It's just they here. And honestly, as loud as they are, as annoying as they are, one thing you can't call Knicks fans is unloyal. They have been riding with that sorry team their entire lives. So my New York fan homies, all the homies, I got tons of them, a couple of the homegirls, diehard Knicks fans. I am happy for them. And I know they are in heaven. They are 1 win away. They deserve it. This team is special. They are about to be kings in New York for the rest of their lives. They're not going to have to pay for anything. You know what I'm saying? You know how when I was looking at Game 3 and the Jumbotron showed Derek Jeter and Eli Manning, those two are responsible for 98% of the championships in New York City from the last half a century. Those two men. And I don't think anybody's going to top Jeter in that city. But
Boy, if
these
Saturday
Knicks
Night
going to
Live,
come close.
boy, if Saturday Night Live was going on the night of Saturday, they would win the championship and do the monologue for Saturday Night Live,
Yes.
Jim. Like that they will own the city. I don't think people I meant to do this video. This will be real quick, Scott.
No,
because you don't have this on the rundown.
It don't matter. It's the last episode.
I know. But we're about to transition. This is a great segue. Scott, I want this for me. I want this for me. We got close. We got close. We had some comebacks of our own this year, Jack. And our fans was really getting it this year. Talking about Chicago Bears. When I look at the Knicks fans, except for them whooping people's asses, unless they're Green Bay Packers fans, I want this for me. Everything that I see from New York, I'm a little bit jealous. Because I want all of this for me. I want everything that Jalen Brunson is getting. I want everything that Cat is getting. I want to have a player that got the girl with the ostrich bag. That's the good luck bag on the side. I want all the celebrities there. I want people to be looking at a Caleb Williams pass and be acting like Larry David did when somebody catches the ball like he was about to fall out. I want at the Super Bowl people to look like Jerry Seinfeld, how he was looking. I want to cry like Tracy Morgan in the car after the game. I want to be going through the tunnel, going after the game, after the Super Bowl, watching the game at Soldier Field. I want to be in the tunnel like, yeah, I want somebody to put me on video. I want go Knicks, go New York. I want all of that, Scott. I want all of that in 2026, 2027. When I look at this run, that's all I'm looking at, Scott. I want this for me. I want to get involved in this.
But see, you know what's funny about that? I was watching Game 3 with Mike, and Mike said this. We're watching the game, and he said, you know what? I really don't like the Knicks like that. I want this for them. And this is why. Because we're the last curse left.
Yes.
And I thought about it. He's like, Mike is a diehard Cub fan. And Mike had the best 24 hours ever because his daughter was born hours after the Cubs won the World Series.
Oh, yeah.
It's the greatest day of his life. Hours after the World Series. They don't get no better than that. So he said, my Cubs won. Now the Knicks won. The Bears are the last curse that is left. The Red Sox broke theirs. White Sox broke theirs 20 years ago. It's literally, I'm not even going to talk about the Browns because some people just are never going to be there. And that's them. Sorry to all my Cleveland people out there. At least we got a quarterback and a coach, and I can see the road. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. I think that I want those same emotions. That's what I was thinking too. And we experienced that to a degree last year. Last year was fun. But I want that too. And we saw a little bit of that. We had celebrities coming to these playoff games this year. You know what I'm saying? Spike Lee got no affiliation to the Bears. He was at both playoff games.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The amount of celebrities I saw there was crazy. Now, obviously, it's not going to be Knicks level celebrities. And I was telling my mom, she was like, why are there so many celebrities there? She was like, well, they bandwagon. I'm like, no, these people are from New York. They're diehard Knicks fans. They just happen to be famous. And you see old girl from Law and Order? Yeah. She looked like she was guarding women.
And she was crying?
Yeah.
She was going through it.
The only person who didn't need to be there was Taylor Swift, but we're not going to get into that. Everybody, all them other celebrities are diehard Knicks fans. You know what I'm saying? So I'm with you. I want to feel that. And it's to the point where, and I have a lot of Knicks fans, homies, where they were like, they haven't even really thought about the Knicks winning championship. I'm the same thing with the Bears. I think like maybe 5-6 years ago, I stopped actually realistically thinking about the Bears winning the Super Bowl. And that doesn't mean I don't think it's going to happen. But I do believe in the next 5 years, we're going to have a legitimate shot to get the Lombardi Trophy. I truly believe that. Whether we get it or not is a different conversation, but I think there will be a chance. And I never really gave my chance the opportunity to think about how I would feel if they won, because I can't describe it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's one of those things. And to see Tracy Morgan, you see all these people going to see my friends who are Knicks fans. I'm a little jealous. I'm with you. I want to feel that too. So much love and respect to the Knicks and Knicks fans. Y'all one win away. We'll see what happens. Do you think they get it done tomorrow, or are we going to game 6?
I think they get it done tomorrow.
Think they
I
get done
think
tomorrow?
I think like what you said. I think San Antonio gonna jump out fast, but I think that the will of a
They
champion is
jumped
gonna
out
come through.
fast in every game of the
They
series.
jumped out of every game. They jumped out in every game. It's not even gonna matter. If I'm the Knicks, it's like, okay, they up what? So what? So no, I expect Madison to be Madison Ave and all them little numbers. I expect Times Square to look like New Year's Eve. Knicks in
I
five.
hope people who are throwing World Cup events understand New York's not going to care about that tournament probably to the final.
At
I'm going
all.
to be real with you. Because when the Knicks win, they're going to party for a week. Then it's going to be the parade. Then they're going to keep partying. Then they'll probably think about that. You know, I was laughing. I'm going to end this with this one. I don't know if you saw the box seats, and it was Kiki Palmer was up there, old girl from Eternals. Shorty, Jamie Chung. She was up there. And Aaron Judge was sitting next to him. And everybody going crazy. Aaron Judge is looking like this. He's like, fuck.
Mm.
Now the pressure finna be on me.
Yep. Damn it.
Like, the Yankees ain't won a championship in 17 years. That's 100 years for the Yankees.
Mm-hmm.
He's like, damn. It's really finna be on me now.
That's 16 years too long, Jack. What we talking about?
Yeah, for the Yankees, 5
Yeah.
years is 20.
Right. Yeah, you're right.
Like, what the Dodgers doing is what they used to do.
Mm-hmm.
That's what that is, man. But anyway, we're going to close this out with some Bears talk. And no, we will not be talking about that stadium because I refuse. Until there are shovels in the ground, I give you my word, we will not bring up that stadium on this program until there is an announcement of when shovels are going in the ground. But we're going to talk football. The Bears are out for the summer. They have 6 weeks off before training camp. So all of the off-season activities are done. Now, I was not able to go to any of these mini camp practices on Tuesday and Wednesday. I didn't have access to a car. And I was supposed to go Thursday, but my niece was born. So I didn't go. So I'm just going off the headlines and stuff that I saw at the camp a couple weeks ago. So here's a couple of headlines. So a couple of things have stood out to me. Number one for me is actually we're gonna start from I got 4. I'm gonna start at number 4. I think this is the end of the road for Kyler Gordon. I think unless he has an unexpectedly healthy season this year, because I'm not talking about stats. When Kyler's on the field, he produces. When Kyler's on the field, he's an all-pro. His ability, stats has never been a question for me. It's his availability. And this is what stood out to me. 2 things that stood out to me. What Ben said, I don't really know Kyler like that. Because he's always hurt, so he's not around. He wasn't around last year. He's not around now. And then 2, he said Kyler has to gain our trust. So that stood out to me as like, unless he's healthy, and I think his contract is very tradable.
Yeah.
And I don't know if you've seen from the way they've been building the secondary, they are Kyler proof in this secondary.
Yep.
So that but when he gets hurt, it's not as a big of a hole as it was last season. They're Kyler proofing it. So I think this is the end of the road for him. Unfortunately, I like Kyler Gordon a lot. He's a real cool dude. He's cool to talk to at the facility. Don't got a negative thing to say about the dude. He just can't stay healthy. So that's one that has stood out to me. My number 3, Caleb Williams' comfort. And he had a quote that he said in his press conference yesterday. There was a couple things in his press conference he said that was funny. When he said, shout out to Micah for saying he should get a vote for being the best play in the NFL. And they asked him, "Would you vote for a pack?" He said, "No, I wouldn't." But we had different things. But what stood out to me, he said he got frustrated in one of the practice, and one of the new receivers, I think it's Khalif Raymond. He's
Yep.
from Detroit, and he said Khalif pulled him to the side. Was like, "Look, so I know you get frustrated, but you're a leader. These guys are looking at you. You know what I'm saying? They're looking at everything you're doing and just pay attention to that." He said that blew him away. And he said, yeah, he was right. I got to be more stoic even when things aren't going well. But he said that it just feels natural now. He said this time last year, he was like drowning a little bit. Remember, him and Ben didn't start off so well. Ben put him through the ringer. You know what I'm saying? And so
He
that
did.
stood out to me as Caleb's comfort. And also, number three, this team is picking up the identity of Ben Johnson to where they're cocky, but not in a bad way. They're more confident. Like, we know what we're trying to do. We know we messed up last year with our inconsistencies on the offense. We know what we got to do differently on the defensive side of the ball. I mean, there's so much accountability everywhere to the point where I told you, Ben is sitting in defensive meetings. I talk about there's a lot of heat on Kyler. There's a lot of heat on Dennis Allen this year. I just want people to know that. I think this will make a break year for Dennis Allen too. And I feel like there's so much confidence. Obviously, you don't want to put too much dip on your chip from OTAs and mandatory minicap. None of this means anything until them balls get kicked in the air first week of September. But there's a quiet confidence about this team that I like. My number two thing that's come out of this offseason workouts. Donald Wright is getting an extension. It's coming real soon. It's what I've heard from multiple sources. Some of the big guns in the Chicago Bears media space, like Brad Biggs and Courtney Cronin, they've been saying it too. Darnell Wright is probably the only great first round pick, like solidified. I'm obviously Caleb and Colston and all them, but Colston got to do it another year. And Ray Charles would have drafted Caleb. Remember, a lot of people upset, including me, that we didn't get Jalen Carter. But Darnell Wright is proved to be a great right tackle, and he's going to get an extension. Here's my final standout or observation from Bears rookie camp. Ben Johnson really loves what he's seeing from Luther Burden and Colston Loveland. Ben don't heap praise on people. I don't know if y'all pay attention to that. Ben ain't going to give you praise if he don't really believe it. And he's talked about the professionalism of both of them and saying that they're going to have great years. He said specifically, I buy all of the Luther Burden stock. And that makes me very excited and also puts Rome on the clock. Because Luther ain't finna slow down for nobody. And I do believe this is not going to be an offense where the number one option is a wide receiver. I think it's going to be Colston. This is going to be like a Brady and Gronk or Pat and Travis type deal.
Mm-hmm.
So that's what stood out to me. If there's any, I'm very confident heading into training camp in 6 weeks that the Bears are going to get off to a good start or a good summer. So any thoughts on my observations, anything you want to add? By the way, shout out to you in the chat that said keep up the good work. Shout out to you for watching.
I would say offensively, this team sets up to like what he had in Detroit. Talking about Ben Johnson. Do you say that Amon-Ra St. Brown is the number one, or talk about when he was healthy, or
Yeah.
Sam Laporta? Like Sam Laporta, like Sam
I think
Laporta,
Sam Laporta.
right?
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, but they were both Pro Bowlers, and they were both great players. I think he has his Sam Laporta and Colston Loveland, and he has his Amon-Ra St. Brown and Luther Burden. What he did not have is a Cole Kmet and the Sam Roush. What he did have was a Khalif Raymond, um, that was returning kicks. But when somebody get hurt, who you better pick up on fantasy because he about to get the ball a lot? Khalif Raymond. I think he has a bit more tools than he used to have. The running back room is something that I want to see continue. Like, I want to see what we get from Swift and Mananga.
Mananga.
Like, I want to see that grow. But from a wide receiver perspective, he has what he had in Detroit, and he has more weapons around that. I do believe that Kyler Gordon, this is a make or break season for him. I think that Malik Muhammad, even when he was drafted, I was like, Kyler Gordon, you're on the clock. At first, I was thinking Tyreek Stevenson, but everything that at least I've been seeing
Tyreek's been
is
having a really good summer so
like
far.
he's been having a real good summer, and
Yeah.
Jalen Johnson looks like the old Jalen Johnson.
Yeah,
So,
JJ looking like himself, man. I ain't gonna
yeah,
lie. Him and there was a picture that Kobe White posted of both of them like in the back. They've been having a good summer. I think
yeah.
Kobe White, obviously, I think is gonna be signing up the offseason for the Bears.
Yeah, Kobe White talking about Dylan Thinneman, like, yo, slow down. Like,
Yeah.
I ain't going that fast, fam. So the defensive backfield, I think, is set as far as their starters go. But when you look at Malik Muhammad and you look at Kyler Gordon, I think that's something that you need to watch to the point where if that contract is tradable, as the way as it looks, could Kyler Gordon make it to the season? Can he make it to the season? Because here's what I also believe with the Bears, and I'm not no insider. I'm a fan. I could be if I wanted to, but I don't want to because
It's
I don't
true.
want to get the inside information. I don't want to
It's,
see how the food is made. That's the one thing about being an insider. I don't want
it
to see how the
definitely
food is made.
changes your fandom
I don't.
100%.
I want to keep my fandom where we at, where I ain't gonna hold you, and how it work. Like I'm the fan on the best damn sports show. Period. With that being said, like I'm that person. With that being said, I don't feel like Ben Johnson got a lot of patience for certain people and
No.
some
No,
things.
he ain't got a lot of patience, period.
And when people say you rather get rid of somebody early than late, oh, I think Ben Johnson is the epitome of getting rid of somebody earlier than later. And when I look at people like Cole Kmet and Kyler Gordon, I look at people where I could see Ben Johnson saying, "Oh, I'll get rid of them person now and get the max from them, than getting rid of them too late and keeping people around." And here's the thing: I don't think that Cole Kmet is one of those people because I think that he likes what he could get from three tight ends, Pauls, and what he has with the rest of the wide receiver room. But Kyler Gordon, hey, Ryan, who need a nickel and to give us a decent pick for this nickel because we drafted Malik Muhammad. I didn't draft Kyler. Overseen did.
Very important fact right there.
I ain't got no ties to this dude. And that's it. Like, I don't think that Ben Johnson has patience, especially for people that he did not draft. So if Kyler Gordon is going to continuously have soft tissue injuries, hey man, I feel like you could be a great player, but you're not a great player over here. So I'd rather you go be a great player with the Tampa Bay Buccaneers or whatever. And I'm gonna get my pick back, and I'm gonna get the pick. I'm gonna get the player that I feel that is going to put us over the hump. Kyler, you're on the clock.
100%. I definitely agree with that. It's gonna be interesting because I want to see if they're gonna make any roster moves before um training camp starts. Because y'all know how I feel about that defensive line, and I said I've given it up to God. But I'm really interested to see if that's something that happens over these next couple weeks. So we'll see how that goes, man. But anyway, so we got for y'all. This is the finale. This will be the last time that we are seeing y'all on this show till the end of August, where we do our NFL season preview. And 2 months ago by fast, very quickly. But I'm not gonna stop dropping content. Obviously, Bane gonna keep doing his shows and things like that. But I will still be dropping. I'm not gonna hold you content on my YouTube channel and on the Patreon. So please subscribe to my YouTube channel. If you watch the show specifically on HMB Media TV and you're not subscribed to my YouTube channel, please subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will be updating multiple times a week all summer, breaking news, my thoughts on any type of sport, Bears news, NFL news, a whole bunch of stuff. The link is in the description box, or you can scan the QR code right here on the screen. That'll take you right to the YouTube page. And of course, subscribe to the Patreon. Everything goes to the Patreon first. All of the links in the description box, man. So we appreciate y'all for watching this entire season. since August. This has been a long season for the show. I want to thank everybody who's helped the show. I want to thank all of our guests we've had this year. I want to thank Dante. I want to thank Nikhil. I want to thank Courtney. Everybody this year. And, of course, my guy Bang right here for joining me each and every week. Anything you want to say if we get out of here? Anything you want to plug?
Nah, man. Glad to take this break. You know, what I'm saying? Talk to y'all when
Me too.
football season starts, but at the same time, we got First Black Champ. That's going to be coming out. Some dude is on a little bit of a hiatus again, so it's becoming summer sessions, but we'll be back. And then some of the other stuff that we're working on, so be prepared for that.
Definitely, man. I will be recapping the NBA Finals as soon as it's over on my channel, so look out for that. I got some World Cup content that's up on the YouTube page if you want to check that out. And the next time you hear from 79th and Hallis, we'll be closer to the season too, because my brother is a father now, so he's not gonna have that much time. So anyway, man, that's all we got. Follow us at Barbchair Scott, at JR Bang. Enjoy your weekend, enjoy your summer. We're gonna holler at y'all at the end of August. We up out of here.